Welcome back, everybody, and today we are here on the Puepop LP, and as you can see behind me is my island, and today is episode 99, and that means it is the world tour, because I have something different planned for episode 100. So today we're going to go ahead and go throughout all of the world here, at least all of the terraformed places of the world, we'll say, that we've been in. And first, we're not actually going to go to the island, but we're going to go to all the places outside of our island, as there's not too many to visit. And then we'll end off in our cave. So if we go just right here, I do believe this is it. Yep. Off here, a little bit of a distance away from our island, we have probably the least interesting place that we're going to visit today. This is my andesite, diorite, and granite mine. And I just mined out this area as much as I could. There's some iron there. Just to gather ourselves a chest full of each of the blocks. And it is a bit of a maze in here, so let's go ahead and head off to the next area. Okay, that was the west covered. Now, let's go ahead and go south. Well, more southeast, actually. And right here, why not start fairly close to home? We have the domain. And let's go ahead and land. There we go. This domain is designed after the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zora's domain. As you can see by the build layout. I don't have the giant fish overhead, but that's okay. As we have this viewing platform just so we can look off towards our island from this grand seat place. In the back we have an AFK fish farm, and where the shrine in-game is, we have the item elevator for all the items, including ink sacks, because this is a working ink farm as well, that will come up from the guardian farm that is underneath. So, over here, we're going to go down there last because it's a bit tricky to get out of. We have a shovel system and an e-shovel system. That is my semi-automatic shulker box storage system. I say semi-automatic because you actually have to select these. You just throw them out of your hand, and they will appear in front of you. That one didn't have anything in it, but you can see that there are some with items in them. And then over here is the e-shovels, or ender chest shovel system. And shovels stands for Storage Highly Optimized by Velocity Engineered and Loaded Shulkers. I had to think about that name for a second. Just have that extra storage right there. And over here we have the small storage for all of our items. Obviously we have fish, prismarine, and prismarine lantern storage off that way for the bulk items. And pressing this button reveals the ink sac storage right here. You can see that I took out a little bit earlier. So if we get our ender pearls down and hope not to die, we can ender pearl into there, into the glass, why not, and into our farm. And as you can see, the guardians either fall down or swim into the sugarcane that's on either side. Let's get around this corner so I don't get zapped. And the only loss is in this 8x8 here. At least I believe that's 8x8. Looks like it. And that is just from where I laid out the waterways initially. Hello? Gonna get shot here. So now... Oh yeah, I also cleared out this area to increase spawning rates. Okay, I might die here. That would not be good. get some food in me, and I'll see you in the next area. So, heading off from the domain, if I can jump properly, we can head over this way, and over here. I guess this is also one of the least interesting places, but this hole right here is my mining station. Let's go ahead and just drop down, spin around, and here we are. I believe that's a zombie spawner right there. And I mined out this entire area. Apparently there was a slime chunk off that way. And this is where I get most of the resources for my world. And let's see. There we go. Going up, and off this way. Now we're getting some more interesting places. We have, just across from the domain, my villager breeder. I don't use this area too much, as I have my village off on that section right there with the houses. And this is just a automatic villager breeder that in case I have a zombie raid, I believe they're called, or maybe they're a zombie swarm, on my village, I can just travel over here by boat and collect some villagers. Right there. Continuing going this way, we have my dirt mining area, as I keep most of everything on there. And here was the previous dirt mining area. And my sand mining area. And off this way, you can see just in the distance there, I have my first village. And I did not bother to mess with this weird loading thing, where the gravel for the well is on top of grass and things like that. As you can see, I blocked in the doors, just so villagers couldn't escape. Of course there's no one in here because it wasn't blocked. And off this way, over the mountain, looks like I left some ladders for myself. And a pathway straight through the mountain, it looks like. So we'll just go through this pathway. Floating tree. Right here is my entrance to the end. Usually I don't show the end too much off camera. And I think we'll be going to the end now, and then the nether after this. And then through the nether we'll travel off to the east. So let's go ahead and head in. And here is my end dimension. Let's just fly up, not with sea lanterns of course. And I've fought the Ender Dragon a couple times here. And I have 2 dragon eggs in this world because I had to reset the end completely after one update that wouldn't allow it to respawn. So let's just go ahead and head into here. There's not much to see on the main island. There we go. Ooh, I think I looked at someone. Yep. So let's just fly off this way. And right here, I have my Enderman farm. Let's just fall on top here. And they are all angry at this Endermite right here. Now let's see if I can get up there. No, I'll have to take the ladder. There we go. But there is a small room up there. Let's see. Yep, I failed that throw. And that one too. Okay. Well, magic anyway. And up here, we have the small room with the crafting table. As I was building this. And right here, doesn't look like I can get the name, but this is Fatty Whale. A very aggressive Enderman. So let's go ahead and jump down now. Through this ladder, let's just go ahead and close off the music and sounds like that. Or turn them down, that is. Enchanting station. Some junk books. And an anvil. And right here, we have the main killing area. Let's go ahead and fill up my inventory with fish, just so I don't pick up more ender pearls. And here we can kill off the enderman and gather experience in bulk. And that is it for the end. Oh yeah, I also have this infinite water source. But that's it. Now, let's go ahead and go to the Nether. Here we are at the Nether hub. And up there I have my easy killing of the wither up there. Off this way we have our mesa and our woodland mansion, as well as a blaze farm. And we'll go off there probably second, I'd say. This portal goes to the Guardian farm. I'm not entirely sure where it would lead me now. Pretty sure it leads under the ocean. But initially, we had the Guardians traveling to the Nether so that I could kill them here. So, well actually first, let's go ahead and check out the courtyard. Looks like we had an explosion. We'll go ahead and head on to our wither skeleton farm off this way. And by the magic of editing, you can see me speed through this temple fortress, that's it. Okay, and right around this corner we can see, just off in the distance, my wither skeleton farm. Looks like I'm out of food, so we'll just slowly walk in there and eat some fish. Also grab all my fish back. There we go. And in here, I believe this was designed by Tango Tech, and I just built it here. We can just walk on by, and only the wither skeletons will be able to see me. They'll follow me and run up into this platform up here, where I can then kill them and collect their items. Bit of coal here. So now back to the main nether hub, as this is all I have built here, at least in terms of this direction. I believe that is north. So let's go ahead and head to the south end of the nether now. Okay, here we are at the south end, and this tunnel isn't too long, so I'll just travel by wing. We have our intersection here, and as you can see, we have this nether brick here, indicating that we have our blaze farm off this way, and it's just a short walk. Up these stairs, we will slowly get some blazes that will fall down, just so I can collect blaze rods. I didn't make it too efficient because I didn't need it to be very efficient. So now, let's go ahead and look at some of the portals that go off into the more rare areas of our world that we almost never see. Okay, now that I have my minecart, we're going to head off in this direction, which is our Mushroom Island and Jungle area, as well as I think my... oh, broke that. My Savannah and my Swamp as well are in this direction. So let's go ahead and ride on the rail. And we're going to stop by the Savannah and the Swamp first, as that is the closer stop. As well as show off my intersection. Press to the right to go to the right. And here we are. We're just slightly not close enough. Here, oh! Well, I didn't expect that to happen. Well, that'll be waiting in the nether for us. And this is my swamp. I didn't really build anything out here, but I do have a portal to it, just in case. And off that way, I do believe, is home. So let's go ahead and head back in. and head down our mine track again. And that'll stop us right here, and we can press the left button to go off towards the jungle and the mushroom island. This is quite the long tunnel, so I didn't bother to decorate the entire thing. And I will see you at, I believe the mushroom island is the first one on the left here. And right here is our mushroom island, just in case I want some mycelium, some mushrooms, and as you can see, it'll probably be easier if I have an aerial view. You can see that I have chopped down all of the mushroom trees on this island, leaving it quite barren. Now to go off towards the jungle, where we do have a little bit more development, and our second base. And here we are. And right through this portal is our jungle. And as you can see, I have another cave base. However, I did not develop this area too much. This was just more of a cat expedition than anything. And as you can see, I have 3 cats just sitting here. Anything good in these chests? Ooh, a lot of iron. Bunch of coal? That seems to be it. We do have a strip mine at the bottom of this ladder, although that just is another strip mine. Not too much interesting down that way. And up here, you'll be able to see, as long as it's day, it's raining, that we have burned down a very large section of our jungle here, and a little strip off this way. Apparently some wood survived. Oh, a whole tree survived, almost. And this is where we came to get cats, as I have already stated. Oh, I guess this is our third base, as I did forget about one more base. Although that has now been linked into our first base, so it's really more like a base 1.5. And I'm not seeing too many cats around here, but this is also where I go to get some jungle wood as well. And I believe that is it for this area, so now it's time to go back to the Nether hub. Oh, found a cat on my way back. No, I'm not gonna kill it. Okay, back in the Nether hub, we will now go off to Iceface 42, which is a joke on my name. I'll see you there. And here we are at the end of the track. Right through this portal is my ice farm, sort of, as it's not exactly a farm, or just a lot of ice that I can mine up. So I can fly here. You can see that I've mined out just a little bit of the ice, as I do not make the ice roads too often. And this river over here should be lower than the rest of the river. Yep. As I have mined it out. And gone under the ice. That's all there is to see here, so let's go ahead and move on to something a little more interesting. Now, off this way, we're going to go ahead and head off to my savanna. Not savanna, mesa. We've already seen the savanna. And that would be to the right here. And then to the left. Just a very quick journey, so I'll just go ahead and show the entire thing on camera. And then at the end of this, or when we turn the corner, we'll be able to see the portal. And there it is. Let's go ahead and head through. And right here is my mesa, where I gather all of my clay. As you can see, We have a little bit of clay mined, but not too much, as well as a just giant group of mobs all around. Now for the actual interesting place, and that is the woodland mansion. Hopefully that creeper doesn't come and bother me. This way we have our woodland mansion, and I did build a lot of this just out of wood. About halfway down I stopped building the tunnel, and as you can see, we're halfway there. Here we go, to our woodland mansion. And here it is. Apparently something shot at me at the last moment. Interesting. And in here, we should see... Apparently I haven't seen them yet. Off in this way. Yep, there's some netherrack. We have some friends just waiting for us here. Very violent friends. And I've trapped every single one of them and didn't kill any of them. As well as the evokers. That's what they're called. They are also trapped, they're just on the higher level. So let's go ahead and head up to level 2. Up the grand staircase. And I believe to the left, it is just a regular woodland mansion. And in there, somewhere, let's just get our ender pearls. And kill the skeleton. Come to me. Ender pearl in. He's in here somewhere. He's right there. Ender pearl out. And run away. We have the evoker in there. Didn't see him against the window. It's a bit dark in there. But I did trap them in their rooms. There's 2 of them in there, it seems. And another one right there. And I believe that was the way up over there. That seems to be everything on the second level. At least in this correct direction. Up to the top, we have more people. There we go. More vindicators, there we go. There's a creeper somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and shoot them. And the creeper. There we go. Apparently I hit up there somehow. Creeper. And I think in one of these rooms there's an evoker. Yep, this one. And he's standing right there. Doesn't even notice me. And here's the map room. And that is, I believe, everything outside of our base. So now, let's go ahead and head back to our main island. Okay, here we are, back where we started episode 1. And right around here somewhere, here we go, is true spawn of the world. This being the precise location, and these being the 4 that border it, I believe. No. This is just where true spawn is. I thought it was a border of 4 chunks. Obviously it's been a while since I've calculated chunk borders. Or world spawns, that is. And let's go ahead and take the plunge that we did on episode 1. Turn off our chunk borders. And over here, we'll go ahead and start on episode 2, I do believe. This is the cactusole, or a portmanteau of cactus and castle. Each of the cacti are 2 tall. I think they have string on the top there. And this recently, I believe episode 67, I'm guessing here, we added this iron farm to the top. And this is just a simple iron farm. Nothing too special. Let's go ahead and fly down and take a good fly around the entire island. As you can see, we have terraformed the entire island, except for this one, where we just have some torches to block spawns. As that is Survival Island, I just decided to keep it as it was in episode 1. And we'll just go ahead and take a little look around on all of the terraforming and parks, as I called them, that we have done around the area. And right up there should do it. Now, let's go ahead and go back to our peninsula over there, as right here is our big tree farm, as well as some decorative trees around the area as well. We do have a small tree farm just in another place. So we have the giant spruce trees, the jungle trees, and some very tall dark oaks. They usually grow 3/4 the size of that, if I remember correctly. And off there we have another park. Over this way, we have the Bob ship. That was a commenter suggested idea, or name. And this is designed after the ship I have in Pixel Piracy. Just to have a little bit of a reference there. Here we have bulk storage of items. And it seems like we have seeds as well. Just a bunch of food on this level. Not a whole lot. Usually I just let the food despawn, as we get so much of it. And as you can see in these chests, we have a lot of items just stored in bulk. And on the bottom, just for references here, we have our chickens, for no apparent reason other than chickens. So now let's go ahead and head on up. And I just want to check something here. See if I put the flower pot on the roof. Which I did. Did indeed include the flower pot. Now we'll get to this peninsula last. And right here we have a villager call system. I'll get into that a little bit later. But first we're going to go off in this direction here. This is my pig, sheep, and cow farm. Apparently some of the sheep are a bit magical there, glitching through the fence posts, including this one here. And there's not much to see there, as I hardly ever use that. I just needed something so that I would have them in case I need them. Now, going up here, we have our beacon. This is our second beacon of the world, I do believe. Maybe the third, actually. Because there's the first, there's the second, there's the third. And they all just have haste 2 on them. We'll head up across this bridge. And down there, you can see my fully automatic potato farm. And normally, I eat almost entirely potatoes. As you can see, this fills up fast. The only bottleneck is the coal, which I guess I can now place in there, as I did grab some. Just to keep this going a little bit more. But let's just check the chest up here. As you can see, it is very nicely backed up, so that we have more food than we will ever need. Right here we have a simple mushroom farm. and off this way we have our potion lab. And we have these sconces here, just a little aesthetic touch. And going inside with our Jeb door, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the potions we make in this world. Here we have fire resistance, then weakness, then strength, then water breathing, then night vision, and then invisibility, just in case I need that. Up here we have a water source, and in here we have the 4 ingredients, I guess I just don't have any dragon's breath at the moment, that we can then brew with to enhance our potions to our specifications. And just a little redstone view back here. It's nothing too intricate, I did design this myself. Circuit down there, and let's go ahead and take a look at the top circuit. Something that just goes around on all of the droppers here. And that is our potion lab. Over there is our sand mining desert, and I do believe I pointed out my dirt mining area as well. There's nothing too important over there, just some aesthetic buildings and ships. Well, not plural singular, because there's only one of each. On episode 16, I ran out of things that I could currently think of doing, so I decided to build a sort of beach resort island area. This was initially connected to that land right there by this land bridge. I tore that down and built this beach with this chair and a custom tree. And it's fairly nice to sit here. And right here, as I like hiding crafting tables in random places, we have a crafting table. Across this bridge, we have our village with a gate there. All of this is perfectly lit up. And we have, I believe, 5 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is correct. Here's the original house that I built. This was just a random house for me to have around here. Store random items. And also a bed that is still a little bit glitched as they changed the bed colors. And this happened. So I kept it this way. We also have an ender chest, and I believe a crafting table hidden somewhere. Nope, one just right there. Okay. Now if I just fly jump over this railing, we have the farmhouse over this way with a mainly oak theme. Just a bunch of doors stuffed in there. Picked another poisonous potato. We have another oak house with the theme of multiple levels, although because of this, none of the villagers actually use it, it seems. We have another double layered house, and this has the theme of spruce, with one layer up here and a second layer down here. I didn't go too all out on the interiors, as we will hardly ever see them. And that's it for the villager item, or island, other than mentioning, oh yes, we have that too. Other than mentioning that I have a flat wall here to kind of make it look like a zombie survival area. I've been talking for quite the while here. Take it back. Over here we have a small port so I can transport villagers from my villager breeder over there into here, and also take villagers out and place them into here. We'll go ahead and travel down this pathway just to here, and here is my villager stacker, and it seems like I have everyone removed from it for now, probably because I've sorted all of the villagers off that way. Now if I can get my way out of here, we can see that some of the parks actually had a little bit of function, although this one ultimately failed because villager minecart jumping timings were a little bit broken after one update, so I just transitioned it to this normal railway. But this one, whilst still missing a log, I have no idea why it's missing that. Let's go ahead and fix it there. It'll look a little different, but that should work just fine. When a villager traveled by, this log would be injected into its face and slowly killing it until it falls out here, where it's almost dead, where we can give it one punch and kill it. And this was a call button that went all the way to that villager stacker that I showed you earlier. Now, going underground, we have this area right here, and you may or may not hear this later depending on how in depth I bring this. Oh yeah, forgot I made that fix to it. But here we have our villager sorter, and I can transition it from away from that death line to this sorting line, where we can then trade with them. Here's my mending villager. I initially just put pumpkins on the good villager heads. There we go, mending for 24. And there is a way off that way if we want it. Now we can start heading into my cave base. Right at the entrance here, or at least the first entrance before I made the second entrance, there's only 2 of them in total, we have my cactus farm. As you can see, cactus is currently just sitting there despawning, as this farm is extremely, well, not extremely, but it's fairly efficient, and I hardly ever use cactus. But I have it if I need it. And here we are. We have my sugarcane farm, which actually just activated as I was entering. And that has its interface right down here. Looks like it's almost full. I use quite a bit of paper for my fireworks, and as well as books. Right here we have my initial base. It was just this entrance here on this path. We have our crafting table, our furnace, and our ender chest, which came on later. And we initially had our entire storage room in a bunch of mismatched chests that are right here. Right here we have our bed, and that then spits us out into here. We initially had an exit right there through a minecart that would suffocate you, but I found that to be not so user-friendly. And if you caught it there, if you press the button, the dragon starts chomping. Right here we have a fireplace. That's about all there is to say about that. And keep track of this bone. Right here we have a world map, or an island map I should say. There's the domain, and all of our island right here. And this area here was the only thing that was initially detached. Everything else was attached. So there was initially land going all through here. You can see me remove that in last episode. And I believe episode 16, the Oasis episode, you can see me get rid of that as well. And that's just a little extra something for history. Now, going over this way, and up the stairs, there used to be a way off to an iron farm that way, but we moved the iron farm, so we got rid of the pathway. Here we have a villager for trading in wool, and that is because I have a lot of string. And this is where the mob drops all file down to. We have witch drops, just something for a placeholder, so we have paper there. We have all of our mob drops stored right here. Now, jumping down, we have a slime block elevator, and right here we have one, and I believe the only surviving one, of our horse stables. The rest of them I got rid of. They used to be right in this area here. And this is my netherwort farm. Just press that button and it will harvest everything. Of course I hardly ever use it now because I have too much netherwort than I ever use. so we'll just throw that on the ground. Right here, we have my cocoa bean farm, which usually that drops some water just in front of it just for a little aesthetic touch. And all I do is punch the cocoa beans manually and replant them and throw them in those hoppers. Over here is my nether portal for the world, or at least for my base, and we have a terracotta pattern in the back there. Down this way we have this little waterfall-esque thing, and I actually quite like this because this is where I store all of my broken armor and tools. Right here we have a chicken farm where you can take the eggs, go up here, you can actually pull that lever to close off the entrance, make sure nothing gets in, and just start firing eggs. Those will fall down into this chute so that we can then collect more eggs. Of course we don't need the eggs anymore, as probably one chicken will be more than enough for what I will ever use for the rest of this world. We'll get to this shaft later. And over here we have our brewery, which I recently decorated. Initially it was just the floor in this area here that has some decoration. And we have potion recipes all dictated out here. Of course something like instant health, which required gas tears. I did not have the ingredients at the time of building this. And jump boost as well. We didn't have rabbits when we built this, so that wasn't included in the design. Right here we have a bunch of ingredients, or we used to. We have that second potion lab above ground now that we use a lot more often, but this is just in case I need to brew some random potion. And we have 3 brewing stands for our use. And I told you to keep track of that bone, and here it is. We also have redstone gunpowder and glowstone here for use. We'll probably get to that a little bit later, but not too much longer. Right here we have an automatic, well, a block breaking station. You hold your block in your right hand and use your tool with the left hand, or if you're playing with a right hand dominant character, then it would be the other way around. Here we have my shovel system for the world. So this is where I store everything. And this is for all of the things I know I'm going to need a little bit larger of a quantity than a shulker box can hold. Like shulker boxes. I have quite a few. As well as random books and things that just didn't very neatly fit in a shulker box. Here we have our fuel efficient furnace. So if I just drop in 8 logs, you can see that gets equally distributed, although there's probably 2 in one of the front ones here. Somewhere got 2. Anyway, that all smelted through. Oh, 2 went into there. I see. Yep, we have our charcoal. 8 charcoal now. And this evenly distributes it so you don't waste much of any coal at all. Unless of course you do what I just did, which then of course wasted quite a bit of coal. Before we go off that way, we're going to go ahead and show off what... Oh, there's a slime down there. Didn't know there was a slime chunk down that way. We're going to go ahead and take this elevator all the way to the bottom. This area is reserved for Update Aquatic, but we have a slime here. That's that. And over here we have my Awkward Potion Brewing Lab. And if we had some more bottles in the system, if we take a look back here, I haven't used it for a while as I have a lot of Awkward Potions. This is the redstone for it. Quite a simple build. We recently fixed this up. Off this way is my second base, or 1.5 base, depending on how you look at it. Just an extra access, and we can look at the chest down there from inside just because I made a little bit extra space for the redstone. And obviously this is full up through the hoppers as well. Here, there's a dog, and we have our observer activated mini farm. It looks like some slime trampled that. Now I know why that's trampled. Here we have a cocoa bean farm. Let's grab a cocoa bean, or just a few. Pull the lever and get away. There we go. And I think one of these is out of bone meal. No, it's working. Okay, apparently that also activates our flower farm as well. And we can just throw all of the harvested items into there. Now, let's go ahead and head up back through our elevator here. There we go. And now we can head off lower than the storage system. Actually, no. We have one tiny thing right up here. Oh, I guess a few. Right here, we have our original mine, where I did just a small strip mine down there. We have our cobblestone generator, and that's it for up there. Right here, we have my book storage for episode plans. Let's take this one. 57. This is what... murder. That's what we did in episode 57. And now we can head off this way. I think I'll reserve that until we loop back around. But right here is our tree farm and a redstone access for it as well. This is semi-automatic, so you do have to keep your eye on it to make it work. As I made it so that you have to stand here and press the button to harvest the trees. There's no automatic detection, just to keep things a little more simple on my first ever tree farm design. Or automatic tree farm design, that is. And that pushes it off this way. I guess this is my second ever. And this is just improving it by making it so that you don't have to harvest it as it grows. And it pushes it into the cube, which then pushes off to this direction. We have storage right here. Sapling storage. It does use quite a few saplings up. And going down here, we're going to take a detour off to our 1.5 base and just drop down here. And at the bottom here, we have, I do believe, my first experience farm. We just follow this lever, and the spiders will fall down into that trough. This broke multiple times after different updates, so this was how we left it when we finally left it to die. But you can see that the spiders come in, and only the first one gets stuck up there. Usually the other one gets trapped on this chest, which is full of stuff as well. And this, I believe, was the original kill switch, which now I don't believe does anything at all. Here we have an enchanting station, and behind here, I believe I actually disabled this. Yeah, I disabled it for obvious reasons. We have a little area here that we once used to house the redstone. Apparently this area is something as well. For a mob squisher, which got broken once they introduced piston translocation. And some sort of storage area that I keep noticing every time I do some sort of world exploration thing. We also have extra just storage down here, because after we crushed them to death, we used a splash potion and then switched to a looting sword to kill them off. More random storage down here, and here is our cow farm, This used to be completely full. Off where this is now, we had a mini underground wheat farm, as I called it, and that went through one of the abandoned mine shafts. And as you can see by some of the remnants of it, this was once an abandoned mine shaft, which is of course why we have the cave spider farm. Right here is a slime farm with an entrance right here. And seeing as we're almost never here, that is a fairly good amount of slime to collect. But as you can see, a slime right there gets attracted to an iron golem up there. Oh, I forgot they got buffed. Apparently they track the player before an iron golem. There you go. They'll follow the iron golem and die on the cacti, and flow off in this direction. Something tells me this is backed up again somehow, which is why we have a lower amount of slime going through. Yeah, I have an item elevator right here that collects the slime, probably because it's constantly being unloaded and then sometimes reloaded. It's probably just froze up on the clocks. Here we have another cobblestone generator, where I guess I stole the lava out of it. And this used to be a tree farm. And here we have a random piston array that was initially for testing something. Not entirely sure what it was, but it was for something. Now we can go ahead and head up to the top here. Kill off these spiders. Oh yeah, we also had a fishing thing here, so you throw your fishing line up and you can fish from that. There we go. Going out and over, we have this room that will possibly not have a purpose. Right now it's just a junction room, and right here we have our pseudo-automatic mechanical apparatus, also known as PAMA. And this is a fully working Redstone AI game, as I called it. Well, I called it the Redstone AI, but it is a game of sorts, where you have to keep it alive as it constantly kills itself, essentially. And there's a bunch of jumbled wire in here, but episodes probably 92 through 97 you can see me construct this thing. We have a revival switch, and behind this stone is a debugging kill switch, although we don't need to use that anymore as we've fully debugged this game. We also have some item collection points here, and of course we can't spam the sensors. We have to actually wait between button presses, which is difficult as this is actually quite the tricky game. You have to be very lucky at the beginning to keep it alive. Down here we have a zombie spawner that I fairly recently completed the area to. You just travel down in this cave-like area, and the zombies will fall down here. They'll get killed by a magma block, and their items can get picked up into this chest here. I hardly ever use this because I have better XP farms, mainly the Enderman farm, but it is there. Up these stairs, we have the world map. And this is our entire world, just about, excluding some of the far-off biomes like the Iceface 42 and the jungle. But right here are some islands, and right down there was that andesite mining area. Just where this stone is, that's where the map would be. And you can see most of our world just in an expanded view. Obviously we have our island in the center of it all, and the domain just below that. And I think from flying around I also noticed another broken Guardian Temple, as I loaded this world before Guardian Temples actually existed. So only half of this temple appeared. It seems that a chunk, or a row of chunks, broke another temple that was right here. Not sure how that happened with a row straight through the middle of it, but it is there. And I believe, well, we can visit this area. This was initially where I planned to make my village, so I have a bunch of pathways going down the area, connected by these staircases, with another random crafting table. So let's go ahead and head back up to, I believe, our final area in our world to explore. And it sounds like our slime farm is working, so that's good. And that is our memory road, right behind me. So you can see a recap of everything. Oh, I was right about episode 16 being the Oasis. Episode 1 was Survival Island. I'm not seeing the cactus hole on here. That's actually quite surprising. Okay. I believe it was episode 2, Sandcastle Fun was the title. Here's me going to the Guardian farm for the first time. And as you can see, it's got this broken area just to show that part of history where it was actually a broken Guardian Temple. We have our local brewery, where we have a stone background, and our checkered floor, and just a bunch of random potion items. Let's see if I went the extra mile and renamed these. No, I didn't. Okay. So that was episode 31, Local Brewery, episode 32, Guardian Farm, episode 36, The Fight, where I went and killed the Ender Dragon. Now I remember where our dragon eggs came from, or went to. Episode 44 was the mob system. I thought it was 48. Slime Farm Finish was episode 47. 49 was the iron farm being built into here. I thought it was 68. Episode 54 is when we got our first beacon, and episode 55 is when we went back to the end after the end islands were added in. Episode 60 was Pixel Pirating, where we built that storage ship, the Bob ship. Episode 63 is where we built our fully automatic potato farm. 67 was the Guardians, where we finished up, or actually made our Guardian farm functional. 70 was Spooky Scary Skeletons, named after the achievement right here, which is where we built our Wither Skeleton farm. 76, the Redstone Brew House, is where we built our Redstone Brewery. Episode 97, the Redstone Computer, and we'll come back to that later. Because first I want to mention that all of these armor stands are properly equipped with the right armor that I wore in the episodes. Well, in terms of what the armor was. I'm obviously wearing my armor that I've kept throughout the series, although I think I've lost some armor along the way. I didn't die too many times, but that is an accurate representation of what I was wearing in each episode. And I think I actually had enough elytra for each and every episode that I built. I guess I didn't build my armor stand for this one, but it was this stuff here. And finally, this last case, episode 98, everything's done where I ended off all work on this series. So now to go back in, and that's going to do it for today's episode. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we have one final episode of this series left to do. I'll see you then.